Good morning, everyone. My name is Kirti Maluru. I'm the technical specialist at Autodesk, looking after the manufacturing portfolio. I'm based out of Bangalore. So first of all, let me welcome you all for this webinar on Autodesk product data management. So before we start, uh, we have a poll running that will be at the end of the session, and you can expect some gifts and goodies. So please do stay till the end of the session and participate in the poll. So okay, so let's start this session now. So this is a Oh, I just realized that people were not seeing my screen. I hope now they are able to see my screen. Yeah.
Yes.
So, so let's start this now. So now this is a subject which a lot of companies are looking into very seriously in terms of what is data management. Now, any organization, any company, they produce a lot of data. It could be engineering, non-engineering, CAD, non-CAD data. But right now it is all cluttered and it is haphazardly maintained in your own system or in your network drives and other things. So that creates a lot of confusion, issues, problem related to productivity, performance, etc., etc. So what we would like to do today is basically take you through as to what basically is product data management. So before I start, I'll just set the stage as to what data management is all about. So data management is a strategy to maintain and manage your product related information or engineering information in a central location or a central repository. So basically, it is a way to ensure you are able to manage, access, and secure your data within your firewall and outside your firewall as well. Now, if you just take a look at the screen, I'm sure that a lot of people would be able to relate to any of those many issues that are shown in front of you. You know, a lot of companies face issues in terms of how do I reuse my data rather than reworking? How do I reduce my overall file duplication? Can I adhere to certain standardization? How do I ensure that I secure my intellectual property? Can I automate my bomb generation? Who gets what level of access, rights, and who views this file? And one of the most confusing thing is, am I working on the actual version of the file or not? And these are burning issues which each and every organization faces today. So in their overall scheme of business process automation, they also need to ensure that they do a data automation or a data hygiene in their entire ecosystem to ensure there is productivity, increase in performance, as well as they can be the market leaders. Now, all these things can be bucketed into various factors. So an organization creates a lot of data. In an organization, there are many people who access those data and those people who access this data has to adhere to certain standards or process that are maintained within an organization. So let's look at a deep dive into some of these key critical points. So a lot of survey has been done in terms of understanding how data is maintained and what are the issues which companies and organization face in terms of managing their entire data. So one thing that really stands out is almost 1 in 3 companies have said that they have worked on an wrong or an outdated data. Now, when I say these things, you try to understand it from an economic standpoint as well. So imagine the amount of time and money that would have gone waste if they would have wasted their effort in working on a wrong data or a wrong output. So in that survey, sir, the whole survey was basically an eye opener for everybody. So it basically uh, showed that almost 50% of the customers who undertook this survey, they said that they have challenges finding the right information. They are wasting time in terms of searching for the correct data. Again, 30% of those customers also mentioned that a lot of time is being wasted on reworking on the data rather than reusing the existing data that is available. And a lot of companies, as I said earlier, and I'm sure everybody would have faced this issue at one point in their life or not, where they would have worked on a wrong data or a wrong output. Similarly, coming into the people part of it, when I say people, it is access. How do I ensure collaboration between the internal and the external stakeholders of the organization? More than 40% of the companies have issues facing with collaboration. And when I say collaboration, the collaboration could be internal, within your team, within your ecosystem, or it could be external. So external could be your third party consultants, your supply chain system, your vendors, and so on and so forth. So it's a burning issue as to how do I ensure a smooth and a seamless collaboration of data that connects with people and the different access controls that they can have. And finally, the process part of it. And I'm sure everybody in this would have faced this issue in terms of how do I better manage my change system or my release system or my bomb management. So a lot of more than 50% of the companies have faced issues in terms of managing change configurations, bill of materials, etc., etc. And a lot of them have also experienced issues in terms of how do I manage the flow of engineering information within a project, or how do I even manage a project or a task. So currently everything is very manual in nature, so that becomes a big challenge for everybody in terms of how do I ensure the proper and the smooth flow of information across the ecosystem with which I am connected. Now let's put that into numbers. Let's put that into a quantifiable numbers. So what these numbers basically suggest is majority of the common source of wastage that finally leads into decrease in productivity of an organization, of a team, or an individual member is could be in any of these different sources of wastage, and the majority being the top three, that is searching of data. How do I search a relevant data? Currently the way it works is you have certain data in your local system and a lot of project data in multiple shared network drives. So an engineer spends a considerable amount of time in terms of searching and retrieval of data. And for repetitive activities, we basically go ahead and rework on it, or we redo from scratch rather than reuse something that is already readily available. And how do I share data externally? Is it by means of mail and FTP where I don't have control? I don't know whether they have accessed the data, or sending them a physical hard copy and other things. So tracking the data that is being consumed by the external stakeholders become very, very, very difficult. So in a nutshell, whether it is a small company or a medium company or a big company, at least they are wasting time in the range of 30 to 35% in terms of the flow of data. Now, with this, let us also now start to understand what is the root cause for it. Why is it that it is happening so? So a typical organization, the ecosystem looks something like this. There is a sales team who does the project bidding, then it goes to the project management team. They basically do the allocations. It goes to engineering, engineering to purchasing, purchasing to manufacturing and quality. So if you look at all of these different stakeholders generate their own set of data as well. On top of it, they also share data with other stakeholders. So a lot of data is being shared across different stakeholders within an organization. Uh, once you have won the bid, the sales team sends it to engineering. The engineering then does the bomb. It sends it to purchasing. They check the inventory. If everything is fine, it goes into manufacturing. It goes into quality. At the same time, there is lot of internal feedback, lot of internal communication that happens across all these various stakeholders in an organization. And you can see from the image, it's a very, very messy process that currently that we have, that is in the manual process part of it. And currently the only way that most of the companies are managing is by Windows management system. So as per one of the white paper, it says that Windows Explorer is not made for designers. It is basically made for storage. It is not made for being an intelligent tool which can help you to manage, map, access, and secure your data in a fashion which can give more productivity benefits to an organization. Almost 57% of the companies that we surveyed accepted that they use Windows management system to manage their product data. So what is the actual cost? If I have to put it by means of certain quantifiable or qualitative figures, basically it can help me in terms of working on a incorrect data, creating multiple duplicate parts, thus increasing the capacity of my storage. You're reworking on something which you already have. You're working, or you're sending a wrong data to the customer. You're working on a wrong version. And imagine the cost of design errors. It all these box down finally into the overall cost of execution. So let's look at from an example standpoint. So this is an example that I created. So don't worry about the numbers. It's all assumed numbers, and it will vary from different companies to company. But in a very, very small nutshell and in a very simplified manner, I created this example, which basically showcases the actual cost of not doing data management. So let us suppose there is an organization which has 10 engineers or designers. They have, and each designer costs around 400 rupees per hour. So if I translate it into a weekly cost, it becomes somewhere around 19,000 or 20,000 rupees. Now, from that survey chart that we saw, on an average, everybody wastes around 30% of their time just doing data management. So let us take a very, very conservative number of 30% of it. If if the 30% of time, if that goes into data management, basically that boils down to close to 58,000 rupees per week. That is basically spent on something which is not productive to your design or your company goals or vision. It is basically searching, retrieving, reworking, manual process of approval, taking printouts, going to your manager for hard copy approvals, and so on and so forth. So 58,000 per week. That roughly translates to around 28, or let's, for easier sake, let's take 30 lakhs per year. Now, deploying a data management practice, and again, I'm going by a very conservative number. Let's suppose if we are able to reduce our time in terms of doing manual data management by 15%. From 30%, we are able to reduce to 15%. Automatically, you can see the ROI that is generated. From 30 lakhs, you are directly saving around 15 lakhs per year. And roughly, that translates to 1.5 times of a resource. So you can add 1.5 resource with that additional cost that is saved. So I hope you are able to understand the direct benefit in terms of doing or having a data hygiene practice within your organization, which can help you to not only have a smoother process but have a direct business benefit in terms of an ROI that you can see and the reduction in terms of the overall cost. And there are other subsidiary benefits to it. Basically what it means is, if I'm able to reduce 50% of the time that is spent in terms of data management, I am able to add 15% more to my productive time, which will lead to increase in performance, which will lead to your growth of the company. So that is the direct benefit of having a data management solution. So with that in mind, Autodesk being a leader in design, manufacturing, construction, and in the media and entertainment space, we keeping all those things in mind, how do we address the flow of data, connect that data into people to collaborate, and finally ensure standardization of process? We have Autodesk Vault Professional, which is a product data management tool to help you to manage, access, and secure your data in a seamless way. So what Autodesk Vault Professional will do is ensure that you have a common repository of all your data, which can be then used to do a much more meaningful and a much more powerful search functionality, which reduces your time, reuse that data, and increase your productivity. That data is then consumed by people, so ensure that you have a better access and a collaboration between various stakeholders, either within the organization or external to the organization, whether they are people who access CAD data or whether they are people who access non-CAD data. And finally also ensure that you are adhering to certain industry standards or company standards in terms of process, like your release management system, your BOM management, your file numbering schemes, etc., etc. So the way it works is data is largely produced. Huge amount of data is largely produced by the engineering team. So Autodesk Vault helps in terms of managing data within your engineering team, and the data could come from your designers, your drafters, the mechanical engineering team, the electrical engineering team, your factory planning team, or it could also be consumed by your engineering manager or your higher ups to do the approval part of it. So it connects all various different data as well as people in a seamless way. And at the same time, it is not just Autodesk data that it helps in managing. It is also non-Autodesk data with other CAD platforms, with Microsoft Office and other files as well. It helps in terms of managing and maintaining that. After that, once your data is ready from the engineering team, the next part of it is then it goes into a release state cycle or a release management system, where now the data that is usually BOM or it gets connected to your ERP or an MRP system is consumed by usually non-engineering team like your marketing, your sales, your projects team. It could be your purchasing, procurement team, etc., etc. So they can then go ahead and consume that data and participate in the entire mechanism of the journey of a product design. And finally, that goes into that data can be now consumed by teams who are non-participatory to maybe the design process. So those team could be your manufacturing or a shop floor, where the main requirement, one of the main requirements is they want to view it, view the data and print the data. Now, one of the challenges that I personally have seen with a lot of companies is the complaint that comes from the shop floor is we basically don't know which is the correct version of drawing that has to be printed. So we spend a lot of time back and forth communicating with the design team to ensure that this is the right version or the revision file with which we have to work. Now with this seamless process, they can now access data by means of a thin client. So thick client is for all the people who participates in the entire engineering flow of information, and thin client is for those who basically just consume the data, maybe use it, review it and print it. And that is your all your non-CAD or non-engineering non-CAD team, basically your production team, your shop floor team, etc., etc. On top of it, now with globalization, what is happening is we are not working in silos. We are basically working globally with multiple companies spread across the globe, with multiple supply chain systems, suppliers, vendors, external consultants who are spread across the globe. So what we have also enabled is now Autodesk Vault also enables external collaboration. So what it means is beyond your firewall of the organization. So it can now ensure that you can access data for either of the purposes, to just get a feedback with a visual representation, or be able to deliver design files, or even collaborate on real-time designs. So there are tools that are available both within Vault as well as within our product design and manufacturing collection, which is a single stop solution for all your product design and manufacturing needs, like tools like Autodesk Viewer, Autodesk Drive, and Fusion Team, which basically takes help of the cloud platform to ensure a smooth collaboration between the company as well as the external stakeholders. At the same time, giving you the complete control over how the data has to flow and consumed. Again, I'm refocusing on that, giving you the power to ensure how you want the access to be controlled. So you have all the power to control how the other person can view, review, download, share the data in real time. So with this, a little bit of background in terms of why product data management is useful and what Autodesk Vault is all about, I'll just go through a couple of key points which most of the companies look for in a data management. One, Autodesk Vault, as I said earlier, helps you to capture all your data in a single repository. So you have the entire set of data in a single location, and then you can decide how my hierarchy of data should be structured, whether it is by means of project, by means of folders, by means of teams. So you can go ahead and structure it. Or if you already have a structure built within your current practice, I can directly copy that and bring it inside my vault. At the same time, another thing that is very important is when I say data, data is not just the visual data, that is a 2D and the 3D data. It is also the metadata. So when you are moving your data that is lying on your system into Vault, automatically file indexing takes place. So the data comes along with all its metadata, its references, its links, everything, and gets stored in a single central location, which can then be consumed by various different stakeholders within the organization. Again, Vault provides you with the world-class integration to various CAD and CAX platforms. It has more than 40 plus out of the box add-ins that are available not only with Autodesk but also other types of file formats, CAD formats, neutral file formats, etc. It works seamlessly with all the Autodesk products. It could be Inventor, AutoCAD, etc., etc. When it comes to Inventor, it can help you in terms of managing very, very, very large data. Or if you do your iLogic, or if you are into doing factory design, it can help you manage and maintain your factory design and its asset. As well as if you are working in AutoCAD, it can help you to maintain your XREFs, your different links, everything in a single workflow. On top of it, it also supports the various different flavors of AutoCAD. It could be your mechanical, electrical, civil, architecture, everything. So different teams, different stakeholders who use various flavors of AutoCAD can also manage their data and sync as and when required. It also supports LT as well as your Microsoft integrations as well. So if you have Word, PowerPoint, your Outlook, Excel, everything, I can directly make that as a part of the my data management practice as well. Uh, One of the reasons is most of the projects start with a mail or a Word document SOW. So basically now that can be a part of your entire project delivery, and that could be the starting point of starting a new project. Again, like any data management, it works on the principle of check-in and check-out. So basically, uh, once you check out the file from your data management, it comes into your native platform. You work on it. Once it is done, you then check in back into the vault where it is safely stored and managed. At the same time, it also does the automatic versioning as well. So that provides you in terms of ensuring that you don't lose any kind of data by means of mismanagement in the versioning part of it. Again, this is, as we saw in the initial slides, this is one of the most critical things in terms of wastage of resources. So Autodesk Vault provides you a very, very comprehensive and a powerful search engine which can basically help you to do basic or even advanced search, which could be of Boolean in nature, and you can even save those searches. So when I say Boolean in nature, you can have multiple instances by which you can search. So in this case, I'm searching the name, the title should have gear, and it should be an assembly file. So it basically showcases me only those two files, and I can do a much more deep dive kind of search in terms of what is needed and what is not needed, and get to my data in a much easier and a quicker fashion. Again, reiterating what we saw in that survey, a lot of time is basically spent in terms of reworking. So Vault provides a way by which I can reuse my data in a much more easier and a quicker fashion. I can search my data, I can reuse and make it a part of an entirely different project, maintaining all my links, contacts, everything intact. So imagine, you are not just copying files from so I'll give you a real case scenario here. Let's suppose you are working on Inventor and there are multiple files you are referencing from different folders or different shared drives. Now when you want to do a new project, you just copy that existing project and keep it, but it will not carry forward all your links and other things. But with this intelligent copy and reuse functionality in Vault, I can basically bring in all the supported links, which can then go ahead and work with my uh, the new project as well. So what I'll do is I'll just quickly get into Vault to showcase Vault looks like and stuff like that. So basically this is Vault. The way we have done is very simple. It basically looks like your Outlook or any of the Microsoft thing. Everything on the left hand side, on the right hand side you have properties, and in the middle you have the design and the data part of it. So you can go ahead and start defining your process, defining your folder structures, bring in your data. It houses different types of file formats of files, both CAD, this is a Revit file, then I have Navisworks files that is added here. There are PDF files, there could be Word document, etc. You can go ahead and start doing that. So what I'll do is I'll just create a new folder. Let's say 2020 new wheel design, and I can specify categories under which category this falls, whether it is a redesign project, new product, or it is electrical, mechanical, architectural. So you can go ahead and define it. So in this case, I'll make it as a redesign project. So this is a new project for me. And if you just a second. What you can also do is now directly connect your domain to your Autodesk Vault to create your user groups. Okay, right now I'm not in admin, but if I'm an admin, I can go ahead and check my different users, their access levels, which projects they can belong to, which folders they can access, all those things I can go ahead and define it. So I'll start with let's say a simple Word document. Let's say that basically is my SOW. So I'll say this is my SOW. So as you can see, the moment I install Vault, automatically there is a plugin that gets automatically installed within my Microsoft Office files as well. So I just have to log in. I'll say I log in as a user, say OK. Once this is done, I have finished it. I will just check in. Check in is basically sending it back to my Vault. So this is the new folder that I have created, and I go ahead and this is an SOW, and it also gives me a very good place to enter my comment. This is a very good discipline activity which can basically help you to ensure that you get a track of what is happening in all your versions as well. Now, couple of things that are interesting here is I can also enforce this. So what this basically means is close file and delete the working copy. So if you want to enforce that people should not have a local copy in their system, the admin can go ahead and enforce this as well. So I can just close the file and delete the working copy. So the moment I do that, my file is gone. So I don't have a local copy available in my system at all. And if I go to my vault, I'll just refresh it and you can see I have an SOW, and it gives me the entire timestamp and the history in terms of what is the work in progress, who created that, what time, the comment, and the if there are multiple versions of it, it will basically go ahead and capture it. Now let's take a look at one of the workflows from AutoCAD, because the most commonly used, and this is the file which creates the maximum number of data as well. So let's suppose I go ahead, the first thing that I need to do is for an engineer, he basically doesn't need to do anything. He just have to log in. I can, so as an user, I can go ahead and log in. Rather than using the open, I will say open from vault. That's it. As simple as that. And I can even do searching here as well. So let's say I want to find one type of drawing file, let's say. So it finds me. I'll say okay and open. It asks, it is not checked out. Do you want to check it out? Yes. So basically I have this file that is checked out for me. Now I'll do some small modifications. So let's say um, I will add a circle at the center which is of 3 inches. Similarly, circle at this center, I will trim it. This, and this. It asks me which locations to trim. I can again go ahead and trim it. Just bear with me. Yes. So let's say I have this new design for me. So I will just go ahead and do a save as. As I said, I can also enforce certain standardization file numbering. Unfortunately, there is some issue with my network resolution. So this is not completely visible, but basically it will not let you to do your own renaming. So it will enforce you to name in the way your company standards are made. So it will basically have which team, which project, which code, and other things. You can go ahead and customize it to the way you want it. So basically it will look something like this. This is the project code, this is the company project code, team, etc., etc. So I go ahead and add it here and I will say save. Once this is done, I just have to check it back into my vault. So I'll say uh, added wheels. So this is in my comment section. I'll just go ahead and check it. If I wanted, I could have even deleted the copy from my system as well. So if I now refresh, so you can see I have a file which is now in work in progress version with comments and other things. The next part of it is in terms of the 3D part of it. So for the 3D part, what we will do is we will basically use the search functionality. Now, as I said, it has a comprehensive searching mechanism. So you can choose different types of searching parameters that you have. Let's say in this case, I say the file name. Condition, I can give conditional statements, contains, does not contain, is empty, greater than, smaller, and everything. In this case, I'll just say contains wheel and I'll say add. With this, I'll search. So I have multiple files that I'm seeing. I want an assembly file. This is an assembly file that I want. So I will just right click. Now I want to reuse this. So earlier, again, just try to kind of imagine how do you do in your current process. I'm just saying and say copy design. It basically takes me to this page. Very simple, very easy. I say I want to basically this and this. I want to copy to my new folder or my new project that I have created. I can set my prefix as well. What should be my prefix? So currently I have set it as 2020, and I have, oh, okay. Uh, just a second. Yeah. And say okay. It basically sets my new destination name. So I am reusing, renaming as per the new project requirements as well. Once this is done, I just have to execute this copy. So it basically creates a file in the new destination or location. I'll just go ahead and I will refresh it. And now if you see the beauty, it not only brings only the assembly file, but all its supported file as well. It's drawing file, its part file, as well as the drawing file of the part as well. So there is a version that is created to it. I can go to the preview. I can even check the preview here and check the history, what number of revisions and other things. So once this is done, basically I will now go to Inventor. Again, the practice is simple. Go to Vault, login. Yeah, I will log in as a user. So rather than using the standard open, I will just use the Vault from open, open from Vault, sorry. Go to my designs, my new project, and say this is my assembly file that I have to open. It asks whether you want to check out. Yes, check out for the entire set of project along with its child companions as well. So it goes ahead and loads the model for me in Inventor. So I have this old wheel design that I have. Now I have to use this for a different with some modifications. So let's do some modifications here. I will go, maybe I've already created a sketch here. So I want to add a groove to this wheel. So I'll just take the revolve command, use this, which is my axis, this is my axis. Rather than new, I will just cut it out, say okay, return, and this is my new design. So I'll just go to Vault and say check in, added groove. So this is my, if I want, I can close files and delete the working copies, and I'll say okay. It basically removes all my this thing from my local station, and if I just go ahead and refresh it, you can see there are two versions, two revisions, two versions of my particular design. So I can even go ahead and do a preview. So now this is for the managers or people who are on the approval side of it. They can basically now go here and review it. Or if you don't want it, I can even open it in a separate window as well. So multiple options are there for you to review. You can take measurements, you can pan, zoom, or even send it for this thing. The same thing can be done for your uh, drawing file as well. So if you currently look, okay, I have not updated the drawing file. Let me just do that again. So there is a drawing file attached to it here. I'll just open it. And you can see this is my new drawing file that is automatically updated as soon as my model also got updated. So that is the power of doing this kind of automation. So once this is done, I just go ahead and check in. There is nothing to be done. Everything seems fine. Uh, Updated drawing with grooves and say okay. So basically there are two versions of it. And see the way it captures each and everything: who did it, which revision, which state, what timestamp, and all the comments and the different versions of it. So once my design is done, the next logical thing to do is to ensure a proper approval cycle. The current methodology of approval cycle is basically either you send a PPT or image, or they come to your system, or even a drawing and other things and all. So rather than that, with an automated life cycle state that can be defined within Vault, I can basically go ahead and say change state. So currently it is in work in progress. I say it is for review, and now it is under review. So now who will be the reviewer? The reviewer will be somebody, his manager or somebody in the management. So I can, the reviewer, let's say his manager, can now log in. I can even set up email notifications as well. So right now I have not done that. So under review, I can go ahead, I can do a preview of it, or even look it into the window. So I can just directly take it and, check the model, see if everything looks fine. There is a groove that is added, other things and all. And if everything looks okay, he can then change the state, which then, if everything is okay, you can proceed and say released. If everything is not okay, you can just say work in progress and enter your comments for the changes that is needed. So in this case, I'll say release. So you can, it directly goes into manufacturing, and now the manufacturing team through their thin client can go ahead and access this data. All at the same time, it is maintaining the different versions of data that is being created. So let me just jump back into the presentation. I hope you got a brief idea about, how easily design and data can be managed within Vault. And the best thing about Vault is, for an engineer, he basically will be working in his own CAD file. The only two or three things that he will be doing is he will be logging in, check in, and check out. That's it. That's the only thing that the user will do. But for a manager, he gets a complete overview of how my project is progressing, have an understanding as to which project is at which stage, which state, and which have already been released, and ensure who has done those recommended changes and other things and all. So they get a complete overview from a design level to a project level, as well as from a management level as well. So again, reiterating, you can also capture a lot of history milestones in terms of, we talked about this earlier. So basically, I can define how my release cycle or my release management process has to be. It could be a simple work in progress, under review and released, or it could be a multiple layers of approvals that will be required. I can also go ahead and define that as well. So Autodesk Vault is completely customizable to the way you want your entire life cycles to be defined and designed. So the most simple and common ones that we see is like, it starts with work in progress, it goes to review, it goes to released. If something is bad, it goes to again for review and work in progress, or everything is okay, it takes this cycle and finally goes into obsolete. So you can set a schedule in terms of when it has to go to schedule as well. Or it could be a multiple layer of different approval levels as well, where you can have multiple approvers at different layers or different stakeholders within that particular engineering team as well. Again, it's the same thing, reiterating it. Completely does a timestamp of your design. So basically, it captures the complete history. There are additional plugins available which can help you to do a side-by-side comparison, restore, at any point in time. Let's say you have a design with 10 versions, but you feel that the fifth version is now the correct one. I can restore that as the current version and start working on it. Again, it also enables your entire revision management cycle, that is your change order workflows, your engineering change order, engineering change numbers, where you can go ahead and track the entire updates or changes through the entire life cycle of that particular change. So you are basically creating a submittal workflow as to who does what, and in between you can create a lot of items and other change order functionalities which can then fulfill your requirement to do the end in the submittal process. Uh, any data management tool would be incomplete if it doesn't have a reporting tool. And when I say reporting tool, it is not just a bunch of Excel sheet and numbers. It should be any capable to give a much more visual reporting, which can help you to understand not just from a single product design, but from the entire project within that organization as well. So multiple reports can be created to understand the progress of a project. If a organization, let's say 3 projects are running parallelly, so the entire HOD can basically visualize which projects are under review, which are released, which are work in progress, and they can then do the scheduling and task allocations appropriately. It can also be not only from a bigger level, but it also can be used from a design level as well. So you can basically go ahead and also check, let's say within an assembly, what is the percentage of uh, different materials that are used in that particular product or that particular assembly. So it is not limited to one or two functionalities. It can be customized. You can write your own reporting structure and get a complete visual mapping of your requirement. uh, Again, it is Vault has one of the most powerful BOM management system. uh, right from creating a bomb from scratch, or bringing in the already created bomb and engineering bomb in your CAD system directly into your Vault, where you can go ahead and now customize, add more functionalities, add more tables, columns to suit the need of your BOM template. So I can basically create my own BOM template, and the data can be created from scratch WinVault, or you can directly push the BOM that comes from any of your CAD source, AutoCAD or Inventor or any of those CAD source, and do your complete BOM management in a very, very simple and an easy way. And it can be, again, it can then be exported either as a CSV file or as an XML file, which can then be consumed by other ERP solutions or other MRP solutions to do your resource planning as well. Again, as I said, one thing any data management should also allow is to provide a very, very secure approval cycle. In the sense, you have to ensure that the right data is being accessed by the right set of people within an organization. So you can basically define how my access has to be given for various stakeholders within an organization, and ensure that they have access to the right and the correct version of my data at the same time. It also encrypts your file so that nobody can misuse your data or do any kind of data thefting. So basically, you can also ensure data encryption within the Vault lifecycle as well. Now, another major requirement within an organization, especially if they have an in-house manufacturing facility, is that these data is also being accessed by the shop floor team. Now, one of the customers with the we had a discussion couple of months back. They said, my burning problem is the team in the production, they are able to access my drawing files, and whenever there is a change, they are doing those changes directly on those drawing files and taking a printout of it. Now, the issue here is those changes are not being recorded back to the designer. So this is creating a lot of issues in terms of how do we ensure that they get the right data. At the same time, they should not be able to edit or modify my data. So that is where Autodesk Vault also provides a thin client or a web client, which is basically through your your Explorer, Internet Explorer, or a Chrome within your within your LAN, you will be able to access the data, but use it for only for viewing and printing and markup of the drawings, which goes as a feedback to the designers. They will not be accessing the real drawing files. It will be a DWF file, which they will access it either for viewing or for reviewing or for printing, or you can even provide your own comments and other things, which goes back to the designer, and they can do those modifications and get the latest version back to my extended team or my production team. So imagine the amount of benefits and the amount of confusion that it can save just by deploying this very, very, very simple process itself. Couple of highly productivity functionalities which a lot of our customers use in terms of automating their existing process within Vault is basically, I can sync my metadata with my CAD files directly during the initial stage itself. A lot of times, you have a huge data that comes in. Now, a visualization file has also needs to be created. So we have a job processor that runs in the background. It does all your conversion of into visualization files in the background without putting too much pressure on your existing work. You can also automate a process where PDFs can be automatically be released into specific set of folders, specific set of locations. You can create certain specific tasks like data transfers. Once a particular state of that project has reached, the data transfer has to go to this, it has to go to procurement or a marketing or a sales. So I can ensure that level of automation. I can ensure an automated way of file numbering structure or a file naming schema, which adheres to your company practices as well. On top of it, Vault also ensures that you are able to collaborate not just with internal stakeholders, but with other departments where they use a different tool like an ERP or a DMS or a PLM. So Vault has a capability to connect with an ERP system like a SAP or an Oracle or a Microsoft Dynamics or an Infor, or it could be a SharePoint or different document management tools, or even multiple PLM like Fusion Lifecycle, which is our own Autodesk PLM tool, or a Teamcenter, SAP PLM, etc., etc. On top of it, a lot of companies have multiple global offices or multiple offices spread across a country or multiple countries. Now, what happens is if everybody is pooling in on the same server, which is there at headquarters, it basically slows up your entire bandwidth. So, what Vault provides is a way that I can also replicate my server in a different location, and at a scheduled time we can have a synchronization. So basically, let's suppose a company has an office in Chennai and one in Pune. The current methodology is the team from Pune is basically accessing the files from the Chennai team. A lot of people are saying that they cannot see my screen. I hope people are able to see my screen. Avinash, are you there on the call? Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, I can see you.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Sorry for the inconvenience. We got a couple of queries that they're not able to see my screen. Yeah. So currently the practice is the Pune team is basically accessing the data from the Chennai server. Now, depending upon their bandwidth and the size of the file, it might take a lot of time for them to transfer the data. So with Vault, we can do a multi-site replication where basically there will be a parent server in Chennai and there will be a child server in the Pune location, and at a scheduled time somewhere in midnight, they can have a synchronized backup where the next day both the servers will have the exact same data which the locals team can go ahead and use it. On top of it, it is enabled for cloud now, so I can basically go ahead and use it for in Amazon Web Services or a Microsoft Azure. Along with it is also enabled for Citrix servers as well. This we talked initially. Vault not only helps you to connect with your internal team, your external team by means of connecting with ERP solutions, your MRP solutions, your SharePoint, or have a multi-site replication. It also helps you to collaborate with external stakeholders using certain cloud-based technologies that we have, where you can use the data from Vault either to get feedback, either to share your data, or even be a participant in the overall design process as well, with various tools like Autodesk Viewer, Autodesk Drive, Fusion Team, which comes along with product design and manufacturing collection, which is our design and manufacturing portfolio. So I'm at the end of my session. So finally, Vault is a single stop solution which helps you in terms of integrating with multiple technologies, both CAD, non-CAD. It also enables working with third-party add-ins. The entire APIs are open, so you can also create your own customization on top of Vault. It can be used for distributed teams. It can be used for lifecycle management, release management, BOM management, creating reports, as well as it enables uh, cloud collaboration to work with external collaborators. In a nutshell, Autodesk Vault helps you to manage data, connect with people, collaborate, and ensure you can standardize your process in a seamless way and ensure that you practice data hygiene in your organization and be the market leader you deserve to be. With this, I end my session. I hope this was useful. Before we get into question and answers, we will quickly look at the polls. I'll give you around 15 seconds of time. Please answer the poll question. Uh, so please answer the poll question. And once that is done, uh, so there will be total of, I believe, 4 poll questions. It hardly takes a second's time for you. So request you to answer, and you can expect some certain, the lucky winners can expect certain goodies, and it will be announced in our website. Avinash, do I need to do anything, or are you controlling it?
No, Kirti, thank you. I'm controlling it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you all for taking up the poll questions. Over to you back.
Yeah, thanks, Avinash. We are now open for Q&A. So please use the questions chat panel and post your questions. I'll be more than happy to answer it. So one of the question that I got is, when we check out the drawing, where will it download? do we need to work in Vault directly? No. So the moment you check out the drawing, so basically there will be a local workspace that will be created, so that temporarily that file will be loaded there, and when you check in back, the files get deleted. I hope I have answered your question. While reusing data, is there any way to rename batch of files? Yes, there is a way to rename batch of files. So you can basically, there is an option where I can select everything and create, add either a suffix or a prefix or even rename as per whatever is the new project code. Yes, there is a way to rename the new set of batch files. So somebody has asked, can we get this PPT? We will reach out to you directly. I can share a couple of slides of this PPT and I can share it to you. But if you want more information, much more in-depth understanding to your kind of requirement, please reach out to us or our channel partners, and we'll be more than happy to give you a demonstration as to how this basically works and how it could be useful for your organization. The idea here is the tool is not just meant only for IT or the HODs of the world. It is meant for each and everybody to practice data hygiene and to ensure that we increase our productivity, thus helping the vision of the organization. So that is the idea of data management tool like Autodesk Vault. I hope you understand that. What is the maximum size of file we can upload? Okay, this is a unique question. I have uploaded enormous amount of files as well. I have not seen any number specific that what is the maximum. I can look it out and get it for you, but I have uploaded freakishly big size files into Vault as well. Is there any constraints for our existing CAD data uploading in Vault? First, I would want to understand which CAD you are using, but on top of it, we also support other third-party CAD platforms like SolidWorks and PTC. And another interesting thing is, let's suppose you have entirely different platform. Now with the Inventor, we have something called as AnyCAD. So in AnyCAD, I can basically bring data from any of the other CAD platform, and through that I can do my entire data management because Inventor works seamlessly with Vault. Absolutely not. If you're using Inventor, there is absolutely no. You just have to install Vault. Automatically, a plugin will be created inside Inventor, and you can push and access all the data right from Inventor to Vault. So there is absolutely no constraint. How is it different from the different PDM, PLM that is available? The product you have mentioned, it is a PLM tool. This is a PDM tool, but we have a PLM tool where the initial step for any organization before they go into PLM is basically have a PDM tool, set the process right, then it becomes a much more easier, smooth transition for the PLM part of it. Is there any option to save the drawing in Vault without check-in? Yes, there is an option. I can do that. There is no, but why do you want to do that? That is the question. Because basically it defeats the whole purpose of a data management tool. So you can save the drawing, but you should never do that. So it's 12:15. I mean, to while we use save in AutoCAD. So I can basically dump the file. If you want to just dump the file without check-in, yes, I can go ahead and do that in this thing. Uh, so as I said earlier, Vault APIs are open. So I can do customization on top of Vault, which can help me to create digital signatures on any of the different documents that you have. It can be done, yes. All right, then I think, okay, I'll just take the last question here. What is the effort from Autodesk to implement PLM in PDMIC? Now, if you have seen the Vault window that I showed, now Vault is one of the most simplest data management that is available. It is basically just like any of your Microsoft products. Very, very simple to use, very less of customization would be required, and everything is out of the box solution. So basically you just want to define your life cycle. You just have to define your users, their roles, and say this person can view this person can view this person can view this. So in terms of effort, it is absolutely minimum in terms of implementing Vault in PDMC, that is Product Design and Manufacturing Collection. So what we do is basically, if you can connect with us, we basically try to understand what is it that you do and what are your challenges and what is your objective in terms of data hygiene. With that, we can then work out a workflow and showcase that this is the workflow that suits you, or if you have a workflow in mind, we can go ahead and refine that as well, and then have a much more simpler implementation as well. So yeah, this is the last question. Again, I really thank each and every one of you for spending your valuable time with us. I hope it was of use to you. And if you have any queries or if you want a much more detailed discussion involving your workflows and your organization, please feel free to reach us or our trusted partners, and we will be more than happy to help you. With this, I end my session. Stay safe and have a great week ahead. Thank you very much.